Rey grew up on a desert planet, scraping by and scavenging to survive. She's an expert fighter, a mechanic, and pilot. She's strong with the Force. She dreams of something bigger beyond the horizon. She ends up with the lightsaber used by both Anakin and Luke Skywalker. She's clearly someone special.
Who's the girl?
Is she a Skywalker? A Solo? A Kenobi? Well, according to The Last Jedi, her parents were nobody. Here, we'll take a look at 8 Rey theories The Last Jedi totally destroyed. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. And subscribe to MovieWeb to keep up with the conversation about all of the things we love. Needless to say, this video is full of spoilers for The Last Jedi. You've been warned. Ah, fan theories. We all have them. Most of us are well-intentioned, chatting about that galaxy far, far away with like-minded friends.
Without you guys, we're nothing.
In real life, in text messages, on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, and anywhere else susceptible to our forced musings. Some of us even make elaborate YouTube videos espousing our various thoughts and theories. Ever since Disney announced the purchase of Lucasfilm and plans to reignite Star Wars with a whole host of new canon movies, TV shows, books, comics, video games, and all the rest, the possibilities have seemed endless. Endless! The Force Awakens arrived with much goodwill from fans and critics alike.
I have never been so excited for a movie in my entire life.
It's both a continuation of the Star Wars saga and homage to the original trilogy.
We're home.
It reunited us with old favorites and introduced brand new characters. Even if some of the new locations and situations felt a little less than fresh, it was exhilaratingly fun.
I like this thing.
There were a ton of books, comics, episodes of Star Wars Rebels, and even a standalone Star Wars movie during the wait between saga installments, but none of them answered one of the biggest questions Force Awakens asked.
My family, they'll be back.
Who are Rey's parents? Luke's old lightsaber called to her. It gave her visions. It chose her over Kylo Ren, whose grandfather and uncle used to wield it. The Last Jedi came along and said that, in fact, her parents were a couple of terrible people with no connection to the greater Star Wars story.
I'm so lonely.
The fans who loved this explanation celebrated the idea that Rey is an every person. Any one of us could be Rey. She will blaze her own trail and have her own legacy. No aristocracy, no bloodline. Other reactions ranged from confusion to disappointment to outright anger. Why would Force Awakens build up this mystery about Rey and then Last Jedi just shrug it off? They were filthy junk traders, the former Ben Solo said. Sold you off for drinking money. They're dead in a pauper's grave in the Jakku desert. Was Kylo Ren simply lying? Rian Johnson has gone on record that Ren was definitely telling the truth, at least as far as he understood it. For me, in that moment, Kylo believes it's the truth. The director said, according to Entertainment Weekly, I think that's what he saw when they touched fingers, and that's what he believes. And when he tells her that in the moment, she believes it. So that means that while this moment may be retconned in Episode 9 or elsewhere, Johnson's explanation about Rey's parentage was not a misdirect. Today, it stands. So here are some of the more popular theories we've waved goodbye to. Rey is Kylo Ren's sister. The expanded universe featured Solo twins, one of whom fell to the dark side. As evidenced by the appearance of characters like Admiral Thrawn, the material now known as Star Wars Legends is there to be mined and reshaped in the new canon. This would explain so much about their connection.
You're Han Solo.
About her bond with Han Solo as a father figure. About her literal and figurative embrace of Leia. These all felt like clues for the audience, red herrings or not. It would also fall in line with J.J. Abrams' reverence for the original trilogy. In fact, if this reveal comes in Episode 9, it will match up perfectly with the reveal in Return of the Jedi that Luke and Leia are twins, separated as children, hidden away from the forces of darkness. Rey and Kylo do have some romantic chemistry, but hey, so did Luke and Leia. Ew. Rey is Luke's daughter. This would mean Luke broke with the monastic tradition of the Jedi Order, but that's certainly not without precedent. His own father did the same thing. This could explain why he wants the Jedi Order to end. Didn't this monastic abstinence from romance help bring about the downfall of the Jedi? Couldn't true balance in the Force come from a happy medium between Sith indulgence and Jedi abstinence? Rey is a Kenobi. Count Dooku eventually left the Jedi Order and later was seduced by the dark side, taking the Sith name Darth Tyrannus. His old Padawan, Qui-Gon Jinn, frequently came into conflict with the Jedi Council. Qui-Gon's Padawan, Obi-Wan Kenobi, was a bit on the rebellious side, or a bit of a lad, as Ewan McGregor once astutely observed. So it's possible that Kenobi broke with tradition at some point. We know that during a time of civil war on Mandalore, young Obi-Wan developed feelings for the Duchess Satine, later admitting that had she asked him to stay, he'd have left the Jedi Order. So maybe he fathered a child at some point. Maybe Rey is a blood relative of his. Rey is Obi-Wan. Reincarnated. It was Obi-Wan Kenobi's old master, Qui-Gon Jinn, who first learned how to maintain consciousness after death via the living force. Qui-Gon taught this to Yoda. Obi-Wan learned it as well. Perhaps Obi-Wan took things further and figured out how to reincarnate himself. This theory doesn't really account for Rey hearing Obi-Wan's voice calling to her. Or perhaps it does, from a certain point of view. Rey is Anakin Reincarnated. The Chosen One was immaculately conceived by the living force itself, perhaps under the direction and influence of the Sith, so reincarnation could certainly be possible in the Star Wars universe. This would make Rey, the Chosen One. Rey is Ezra Bridger's daughter. Little was known about Benicio del Toro's character in The Last Jedi when he was cast, leading a number of fans to speculate that he was the older version of Ezra Bridger, the budding young Jedi from Star Wars Rebels, which takes place between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Some fans took this theory a step further, speculating that Ezra at some point turned evil and his daughter, Rey, was hidden from him. Of course, now we know that Del Toro's DJ is not Ezra, right? Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. Sheev Palpatine was gone before Rey was born, but it's possible he had children, which means Rey could be the late Emperor's granddaughter. Fans point to the similarity in fighting styles between Darth Sidious and Jakku's coolest orphan. Palpatine's voice is one of the many heard during Rey's Force-induced vision. Then there's the score. John Williams has tied characters together with music before, and there are similarities between the Emperor's theme and the theme used for Rey. Rey is a reincarnation of the first Jedi. There were rumors that Episode 8 would reveal the origins of the Jedi, with a boy and a girl possessed of the Force. The boy turns evil, the girl is good, and somewhere in that theory that girl ended up as Rey. Well, we hope you enjoyed this look at 8 Rey theories The Last Jedi totally destroyed. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. And be sure to subscribe to MovieWeb to keep up with the conversation about all of the things we love.